Okay, hello everybody. So today we are going to draw the hollow slab floor structural plan or hollow slab floor formwork plan. So let's start drawing this structural plan by drawing the borders of our building like we did last week. Okay, so our building is an L-shaped building which looks like this one. Okay, and we have a veranda here. Okay, and the main entrance is here, and here is the stair that makes us reach to the entrance of the building. Okay, so let's start drawing the structural plan by drawing the borders of our building, and then let's place our columns. Okay, like we have placed the columns last week, and I will hatch them in order to make you see it better. There is one column there, one column in this corner point, okay, and one very large column or a shear column in this side of the building. Let's hatch this as well. Okay, and we are going to have one more column here in this corner point, and two more columns, one here and another one in this corner of the building. Okay, by the way, what are we working on now? We are working on a hollow slab structural plan. Okay, alternatively we may call it as a formwork plan. I want you to work in 1 to 50 scale. Okay, and it doesn't need to be a fascinating drawing, it needs to be a working sketch. Okay, you can draw with freehand. If you have rulers, you may use them as well, but main idea is we are trying to practice the theoretical information that I have passed to you during today's lecture. Okay, so what is special about hollow slab floors? Please remember, or you may look at the presentations video recording as well. In hollow slab floors, we have got four main components. The first component is main beams, let's call it plural. Okay, the second thing is secondary beams. Okay, the third thing that we need to have is the hollow bricks or blocks. Okay, and the final thing that we have is a layer of concrete on top of all these. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do while we are drawing this plan is faintly drawing the main beams. Okay, so what is the meaning of a main beam? A main beam is a beam which is connecting two columns to each other. Okay, so we have one column here and another column there. So we have to connect those two columns with a main beam. By the way, what is the approximate dimension of the main beams in hollow slab floors? It is something around 30 centimeters in thickness, okay, and something around 60 centimeters in width. Okay, as this is a plan drawing, and as in hollow slab floors we use flat beams, not perpendicular standing but horizontal standing. Our beam will be something like this. Let's try to draw it in 3 dimensions. Okay, the beam will be something like this, and its height will be 30 and its width will be 60. Okay, as this is a plan drawing, we are looking from top to that beam. That's why we are going to see this plane of that beam, and we are going to connect these columns with a strip of around 60 centimeters. Okay, so here is the I need to enlarge this column a little bit more. Okay, I drew it small. Okay, so here is the first main beam. I'm drawing it faint, okay, because there's going to be other main beams coming here and they will be tied directly to each other, so I'm not drawing it as finalized. Okay, I will draw this main beam which is connecting this column to that column. There will be another main beam which is connecting this column to that column, and one more main beam which is connecting these two columns to each other, and we have got more main beams, okay, connecting these other columns to each other. Okay, so this, as you may see, looks like a kind of strip foundation. Okay, in strip foundation we also have these kind of continuous strips of foundations. In hollow slab floors we are going to draw similar drawings, but this time we are not going to call them as strip foundations, but we are going to call them as a hollow slab structural floor plan. Okay, and the second thing that we are going to add, I haven't finalized these lines yet. Okay, they are still faint lines. I'm going to pass over those lines, but before passing over those lines we need to draw the second component of hollow slab floors, which are called as secondary beams. Okay, so what is the meaning of secondary beam? Secondary beam is a beam which is tying main beams to each other. Okay, so here is something new, something that I haven't told during today's lecture. And what is that thing? That thing is to which direction are we going to place the secondary beams? On this direction, okay, or on that direction? Okay, you know, say in hollow slab floors we only have secondary beams on only one direction. In ribbed floors only on one direction as well. Whereas in waffle floors we have got secondary beams generating a grid. Okay, but not in hollow slab floors or in ribbed floors. In hollow slab floors and ribbed floors we are going to have secondary beams only on one direction. Okay, so here is the rule. Secondary beams are connecting main beams to each other. In other words, secondary beams take loads from the floor plane and transfers that load to the main beams. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to make the secondary beams transfer loads to the short main beam. Why short main beam? Because long main beam is already trying to pass that large span. Okay, it is already under lots of stress. Okay, so we don't want to stress them more by making the secondary beams transfer loads to the long main beams. Okay, that's why we need to look at the drawings that I have given to you, and you will see that from here to here the building size is something around 6.5 or even 7 meters. On the counter direction, on this direction, it is something around 5 meters. So this one, okay, and that one are the long main beams in this floor plane. Okay, that's why we need to place the secondary beams in such a way that they will not transfer loads to these two main beams. Okay, we want them to transfer loads to this main beam, okay, and that main beam, because they are short main beams, and short main beams are going to be easier or better to load them with the loads coming from the secondary beams. Okay, you remember what was the size of a secondary beam? The size of a secondary beam, the height of it will be equal to the height of the main beam, of course. Okay, and in third dimension it's going to look like something like this. Okay, and its width will be 15 centimeters. Okay, and in this plan drawing we are going to see this top plane of that secondary beam, which means that we are going to place them right here. Okay, what should be the distance between the main beams and secondary beams, and between the secondary beams and secondary beams? It should be something like 40 centimeters. Okay, the distance between the secondary beams needs to be something around 40 centimeters. What I want you to do, so this is something around 60 centimeters. There's another 60 centimeters here. Okay, and you can see the total width of this building from the drawings that I have given to you. I'm checking it and I see that it is something around 6 meters now, and 6 meters, 60 centimeters of that 6 meter is left for the main beam, this main beam, and 60 for the other main beam, which will make something around 1.2 meters for two other main beams. We are trying to calculate this distance. Okay, so 6 minus 1.2 will be equal to 4.8 meters. If we want to place the secondary beams in each 40 centimeters, we need to place something around 11 secondary beams. Okay, so what you can do, you can divide this space into 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, you can make it 11. I could place only 8 now. Okay, so what you will do, you are going to draw these kind of lines which is representing the secondary beams. Okay, so secondary beams need to be parallel to the long main beam, perpendicular to the short main beam, because by doing so we are going to make the secondary beams transfer load to the short main beam. Okay, so here is the other secondary beam. We are going to go on like that. Okay, all these are our secondary beams. Okay, let's draw them more faint. We can easily pass over them with a thick pencil later. Okay, so here is my secondary beams. Okay, so this is main beam, that's main beam, that's main beam, that's main beam. These two are shorter than these two main beams, so we are going to make the secondary beams transfer load to the short main beams. When we pass here, now we will see that the long main beam are these two now. Okay, and the short beams are those two. So what we need to do, we need to place the secondary beams on this direction, and this width, you can check it from the sheets that I have given to you, is something around 5 meters. Okay, again we have got 60 centimeters here, 60 centimeters here, so 5 minus 1.2 will make something around 3.8 meters. If you divide it to 0.4, you are going to find around 9 secondary beams. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you place 9 there, and what I will do, I'm going to draw my secondary beams right here, like this. Okay, once more I want to repeat it, as these are working drawings. You do not need to prepare fascinating, very sleekly drawn drawings. Okay, just working drawings. Okay, hand drawing will be alright. Okay, but be careful. If I feel that you draw it without giving enough importance, it's going to bore me. So don't bore me. Try to do your best. Okay, but it's not going to be graded according to the quality of the drawing. Okay, but I want to see if you really tried well to draw them. Okay, this is all. In fact, I want to pass over these lines. Let's find the proper pencil here. Okay, so what are we going to do? Okay, so this is the first main beam. We are going to come here like that. Okay, and these are my hollow blocks, like this. And this is the final row of hollow blocks. Okay, and here is the short main beam, again long main beam, and one more long main beam here. So this beam is a long main beam for this part of the floor, and the short main beam for that part of the floor. Don't forget that while designing the structural system of the floors, we always try to find out simple rectangle forms. Okay, so here is the first single rectangle form, this part, and here is the second single rectangular form. Okay, and we pass to here, we are going to see that we will have, okay, let's turn this to this side in order to draw it easier. Okay, so here are my strips of hollow blocks, hollow bricks. Okay, exactly like this. Okay, what was the function of hollow block strips? The function of it is what? Okay, say it, I want to hear it. Okay, so the function of hollow blocks is decreasing the total weight of our floor system. Okay, and we need to draw the other main beams like this. Okay, so we are finished with it. Okay, but don't forget that an architectural drawing is not finished if you do not support your drawings with some written information. So let's now write those written information. So what is that? That is the reinforced concrete main beam. Okay, let's write it is section size. Okay, it is something around 30 by 60. Okay, what is this thing that we have here? That's also a reinforced concrete main beam. Okay, with again a section size of 30 by 60. Okay, what about this thing that we have here? That's also a reinforced concrete main beam. Okay, and section size 30 by 60. Okay, let's repeat it once more. Okay, let's say that this is also reinforced concrete main beam. Okay, with a section size of 30 by 60 centimeters. Okay, and what is that? That is a reinforced concrete column. Okay, with a section size of 40 by 100. You know these sizes from the papers that I have given to you, showing the conceptual design of our building. What is this? That is a reinforced concrete column as well, or alternatively you can say it, name it as reinforced concrete shear column. Its section size is 25 by 2.25. Okay, and let's write it once more. That's also a reinforced concrete column. Okay, with a section size of 40 by 100. Okay, what else do we have? We have got rows of hollow bricks, hollow blocks here. Okay, so we have space. Okay, as we have space, hollow block strip, we can write it block strip. Okay, and in order to say that this entire thing is hollow block strip, we can put those two marks. We have talked about it the previous week. Okay, so we can repeat it once more. This is also hollow block strip, hollow block or hollow brick. Okay, it depends on the material that we have chosen. Okay, and what we can do, we can turn it. Okay, and we can write that this is hollow block strip as well. Okay, what else do we have? We have got here some, okay, some reinforced concrete. Okay, let's extend the line, the pointing line, pointing the text indicator lines like that. Okay, and these are reinforced concrete secondary beams. Okay, what is the section size of it? The section size of it is 15 by 30. Okay, and we can do okay, let's draw it here. Okay, we can put these kinds of marks. Okay, like this. Okay, and we can also write here that these are reinforced concrete secondary beams. Okay, now we are going to cover the entire thing with concrete. Okay, but in order to show what is there inside this floor system, we are not drawing it like it is being covered with a layer of concrete. Okay, so what else should we add in an architectural drawing? We need to draw, we need to write the names, and we need to support all these with some dimension related information. Okay, so what you can do, you can turn this page a little bit like this. Okay, and you can put a dimension line like that. You can firstly give the dimension of the main beams. Okay, this is going to be something around 60 centimeters. Then you can give the entire length here from this side to the other side. Okay, that's what that's going to be. We have calculated here, calculated that here. That's going to be 4.8 meters. Okay, and we have got 60 centimeters of a main beam width at this point. Okay, and you can put another dimension line, maybe right here. Okay, and in that dimension line you can write 60, 40, 15, 40, 15, 40, 15, and you can go on like that. Okay, so in the first dimension line we give the dimension of main beam, and the distance between two main beams with each other, and in the second dimension line we give the width of the main beam, and then we give the width of the hollow brick strip, and then secondary beam width, hollow brick strip width. We go on giving those dimensions. Okay, and let's put another dimension line right here. Okay, again the main beam is 60 centimeters in width. We have got another 60 centimeters in width of a beam there, and if I'm not wrong, this needs to be something like 8.8 meters, okay, or 880 centimeters. Okay, you can check those dimensions from the paper that I have given to you here in order to be fast. I'm not calculating the exact dimensions. Okay, and what we need to do, we need to give at least one more dimension line on the counter direction. Okay, so what I will do, I'm going to draw another dimension line right here. Okay, and I will write the width of the beam, okay, the width of the other beam and the width of that beam, and we need to give, this is let me check, 7 meters. This needs to be something around 5.8 meters or 580 centimeters, and this needs to be something around 3.5 meters or 350 centimeters. Okay, please check and control the exact dimensions from the sheets that I have given to you, explaining the overall conceptual design and the dimension of our building. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to draw at least 2 sections like we did in slab floors. The first section, let's name it as AA section. Okay, what did we do last week? We have taken another paper and we have taped it like this, I guess. Okay, so let's tape it. Okay. Okay, you don't need to even tape it. Okay, if you do not have a tape with you, okay, you can just put the paper and carry on the lines as far as you can. Okay, so what will we do? We are going to draw a section passing from here. So what will we draw firstly? We are going to draw the column in the background. Okay, let's carry the column to the background here. Okay, so this is the column. It's going to be the column. Okay, and here in the background we are going to see the column like this. Okay, and this is the other side of the column, and another column here. Okay, let's draw our dashed and dotted lines here. Okay, you know dashed and dotted line represents something being cut. Okay, means that these continue upwards, but we do not draw them. Okay, and let's draw another dashed and dotted line here like this. Okay, somebody in today's online class asked me how long should we draw the columns. It depends. Okay, so 2 meters height of a column is enough. Okay, because we know that it continues upwards and it continues upwards, but we are not interested in them. We are interested in this floor, and this floor columns are not an exact part of this floor. They are something different, something which is carrying the floor. Okay, so the focal point of this drawing are not the columns. Of course, we cannot accept floors and columns as separate things. They are a whole. That's why we need to draw them. Okay, but this is not the they are not the main thing that we are interested in. Okay, so I'm going to pass over these lines a little bit. Okay, like this. And what will I do? I am going to start drawing my main beams. Okay, I'm going to draw them as always a little bit faint. Okay, because I want to correct it in the later stages. Okay, so let's draw again some faint lines here. Okay, I have another main beam here. I've got one more main beam right there. Okay, and what do I have? What do I see in the background? Here I see nothing, or here I see the hollow blocks in the background, whereas here I see the secondary beams. Okay, so I'm going to carry my secondary beam lines like that. Okay, these are my secondary beams. Okay, now let's pass over them. Okay, these are my secondary beams. Okay, and we also have secondary beams here, but as they are parallel with the section plane, we cannot see them, okay, because they haven't been cut by the section plane. Whereas these secondary beams that we have here has been cut by the section plane. You see the section plane is cutting it, okay, that's why we don't we will see them, okay. And all these main beams and secondary beams are going to carry a plaque of reinforced concrete on top of them. Okay, let's draw it now. Okay, so this is the plaque that is being carried by them. Okay, now what can I do? I can pass over these lines with again my blue pen, ink pen. Okay, so this is how I should draw my hollow slab floor. Okay, it is not a very detailed drawing, but it works fine. Okay, it is going to explain what we are working about. Okay, so now let's also we may also hatch it in order to make you see it more clearly. Okay, these are the reinforced concrete part of my floor. Okay, what about the rest? Okay, are these spaces going to be left empty? Of course not. We have got hollow blocks there, so now I'm drawing these lines more thick. Okay, and I'm going to put an X here, a very large X, and I'm going to put more X's here in order to make it clear that these are not empty spaces. Instead, they are solid full things. Okay, now my section is finished. Okay, what I need to do, I need to support my drawing. Firstly, let's erase these lines, these guidelines, and make our drawing seem better. Okay, I'm erasing it. Okay, and let's erase these guidelines as well in order to make my drawing seem better. Okay, without the guidelines. Okay, and that is an AA section. Okay, let's start by naming our section. This is the AA section. Okay, and what about the scale? It is 1 to 50. Okay, now that we have written the name of the section, why not write the name of the plan? Okay, so what was the name of this plan? Hollow slab structural floor plan or formwork plan. Okay, again the scale is 1 to 50. Okay, let's turn back to our section. The drawing part of our section is finished. What we need to do, we need to support our drawing with written information. This is reinforced concrete column. Okay, what about this one? That is also a reinforced concrete column. Okay, and what about this one? That's also a reinforced concrete column. Okay, what about this thing that we have here? That's reinforced concrete main beam. Okay, where else do we have main beams? We have got main beams, another main beam here. Main beam, I'm going to write it shortly. And we have got another main beam here, which is reinforced concrete main beam. Okay, what else do I have? I have got here some secondary beams. I'm going to draw them like that. This is reinforced concrete secondary beam. Okay, and I'm going to put another arrow right here. Okay, and what do I have here? I have got my hollow block strip here. Okay, and I also have some hollow blocks here as well. Okay, what can I do else? I can draw a dimension line here. What is the thickness of the continuous layer of concrete on top of main and secondary beams? It is 7. Okay, so this size it is 7 centimeters. And what about this size? If the total thickness is 30, that's going to be 23 centimeters. Okay, so the hollow block height is 23 and the concrete on top of it is 7. Okay, I can draw another dimension line here like that, and I can write the total thickness of my floor as 30 there. Okay, and the next thing that I will do is turning my page like this, because I want to draw another section passing from here. Okay, I want it to pass from there like we did for. Okay, let's erase these guidelines also. Okay, let's clean up our drawing. We have plenty of space. Let's not fill those space. Okay, I'm going to move this section plane a little bit down to here. Okay, because I don't want my section plane indicator to intersect with my text. Okay, and let's continue it like this. And this is the other section plane indicator. Okay, I'm going to name that section as BB. I'm going to take another page. Okay, these are not entirely blank pages. Okay, they are draft pages. You don't need to use a very quality paper. Okay, don't forget that these are working drawings, and this is an extraordinary situation we are experiencing it these days. Okay, what will I do? I'm going to draw some guidelines again. Okay, so firstly I'm going to carry this guideline, the border of the building like this. Okay, and I'm going to carry another guideline. Okay, I'm going to carry the other main beam with guidelines. Okay, and the section plane cuts the other main beam at this point. Okay, so here are the other columns. Okay, like I did for this section, I'm going to immediately draw dashed and dotted line to represent that my column is continuing upwards. Okay, and I'm going to draw another dashed and dotted line here to show that my column continues downwards as well. Okay, this time let's immediately erase our guidelines, okay, to simplify our drawing. Okay, like this, and let's pass over. Okay, sorry, I did something wrong, because we shouldn't carry the main beams firstly, we should carry the columns, and the column that we have here is large, okay, larger than the other columns, so we need to draw our guideline like this. Okay, and I need to erase this line, okay, because my column that I have here is really large like that. Okay, and I have to lengthen my dashed and dotted lines here. Okay, and I need to start carrying my column as it is in elevation at this point. Okay, you understand what are these that I have drawn? These are the columns in the background. Okay, this column, the section plane is passing from here. Okay, so what we see this column in background. So this plane that I have drawn here is this column that we have here. Okay, this column is that here, and this column is this here. Okay, and then our section plane cuts this main beam firstly. Okay, so let's now carry that line. Okay, what will I do? I'm going to draw my main beam right here. Okay, let's sketch it in order to make you see it more clearly. Okay, and what else I'm going to do? I'm going to carry the columns placed to the other side, and I will carry these lines here. Okay, and I'm going to have another main beam on the other side. Okay, and like we did here, okay, is the section plane cutting any cutting all the secondary beams? No, it's just casing a single secondary beam or a hollow block. It's not cutting any secondary beam at all. It is just cutting a strip of hollow blocks. Okay, that's why we are not going to draw any secondary beams like we draw here. Instead, we are going to represent it like this. Okay, on top of these main beams, what do we have? We have got our reinforced concrete 7 centimeters thick of layer above there. Okay, and what will I have here? I'm going to have my hollow block strip there. I'm going to erase this line here, okay, and that line, because the concrete here and the hollow blocks here are going to hide the column in the background, and I'm going to represent that the column continues that way with some dashed lines. Okay, now I need to pass over my drawing with blue pen in order to make it be seen more clearly. Okay, so here are my, okay, and this time, let's not hatch it with blue. Okay, let's hatch it with my pencil in order to make you see it more clearly. Okay, so the things that I'm hatching now is reinforced concrete entirely. Okay, and what do I have here? I have got my hollow brick strip here. Okay, that's why I'm going to draw a gigantic X here. Okay, so I am finished with it. Now that I am finished with the drawings, what should I do? I should add some text. This is reinforced concrete column. Okay, this is reinforced concrete main beam. What is this? That is hollow block strip. Okay, what is that? That is reinforced concrete main beam. Okay, what is that? That is reinforced concrete plug. Okay, and let's draw another text indicator here, and let's write that this is reinforced concrete column as well. Okay, and let's write its name here. This is the BB section. Okay, with a scale of 1 to 50. Okay, that's all, guys. Okay, I hope that you will have fun while trying to draw it. Okay, so if you do not really have enough paper with you, and if you believe that you can draw it detailed enough in 1 to 100 scale, you can. Okay.